बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, हसरत है हमारी बाबा कर दो वो पूरी आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। अंबर पे आंख उठाए मन तो उड़ता ही जाए, संगम के सुहाने सुख जो हम लूटे तो लुटाए, दिव्य चितवन से नस नस को भर दे आज आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। तू जो धरा पे पधारे फूल खिल जाते हैं न्यारे, गुलशन तो महक जाए तू जो इसे सवारे, हर गुल में भर दे बाबा तू खुशबू स्वर्गिक सी आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, हसरत है हमारी बाबा कर दो वो पूरी आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे।
Good morning and welcome back to Pavitrata series on purity. Today, episode 14, 2 weeks have passed. Such a beautiful song today, a song about our Milan, our meeting with the Supreme Soul, which we call Father, Baba. It's so sweet, this meeting. Let us go back today to the discussion on purity and truth. Yesterday, we were discussing different aspects of purity and self-respect, worthiness. In these teachings of 27th of February 1996, Raja Yoga teachings, the practical form of your purity is that of divinity. At this time, no matter how truthful people of the world consider themselves to be, they still do not know the truth of their original form. They do not have the true introduction of the Father. So you cannot call theirs the completely true form. You can only have the power of truth constantly when you have the awareness of the true form of yourself and the Father. So the truth means to have the awareness of your true form of the self and of the Father. So your every thought will then be constantly true. Every thought will then constantly be true. That's a desire of all human beings. At present, you even forget sometimes, or when you become body conscious, your thoughts are not constantly filled with the power of truth or the power of purity. Do you constantly have this type of thought, or do you even have waste thoughts? We can check ourselves. Are our thoughts full of truthfulness, or there are waste thoughts? Would you call waste thoughts truthful? You did not say anything false, so why would you not call them true? If someone were to say, I don't ever tell a lie, I always tell the truth, then the recognition of this truth is that there would constantly be divinity experienced in that one's thoughts, words, deeds, relationships, and connections. You may be speaking the truth, but there isn't any divinity. Truth means divinity. You can see that someone repeatedly says, I'm telling the truth, I'm telling the truth, I'm always truthful. However, if you are constantly truthful and yet there isn't that divinity in your words or deeds, then others would not feel your truth to be the truth. They would feel that you are only trying to prove yourself. They would not be able to understand that is truth. In order to prove the truth, there is no need to try to prove it. If you prove your own truthfulness with stubbornness, that divinity would not be visible. It would only be something ordinary, which everyone in the world also does. But that God gives a definition of truth in one slogan, which you have heard. What is truthful? When there is truth, the soul dances. So God says, when there is truth, soul dances. The soul will constantly dance in happiness. When you try to prove yourself with stubbornness, then if you observe your own or someone else's face, it would not be a face with happiness on it. The face would be filled with thoughts or sadness. It would not be a face of one who is dancing. Where there is truth, the soul dances in happiness. Days and nights spent in happiness are enjoyed very much, but if there is a slightest untruth mixed with the truth, life at that time would not be enjoyable. The meaning of truth is to be stable in your form of truth, and then to create thoughts, speak words, and perform deeds. Purity means power of truth. Purity means power of divinity. Truth is reality. Truth is royalty. Truth is divinity. When we are stable in our original, eternal form of the soul, when in the awareness there is that eternal, original form of the soul and of the Father, then we are in truth. There is no other definition of truth. Truth does not only mean that we speak the right words at the right time. Truth does not mean that we describe reality as it is according to the newspapers and the events. Truth means in the awareness right now, there is the eternal, original form of the soul and of the Father. That is the ultimate truth of all human souls. The soul is the one that can be truthful, unless and until we are awake to that soul consciousness, unless and until the mind, the intellect, and personality are used by the awakened soul, we cannot speak about any truth. Everything else is from the consciousness of being a body, which is false from the foundation. Whenever we are not in soul consciousness, we are identified with the body, with the role, with the position, with this material world, and we believe we are that. Everything is false. All the thoughts created in that awareness are false. All the attitudes created in that consciousness of being a body, of being this name, this role, are false. All the words, all the actions, all the karma, all the transformations that we aim to do, all are false. There is only one truth, and that truth is a foundation of our spiritual life. The soul is eternal. The soul is divine. The soul is a child of God. Soul and God together, being aware and awake and alert to this reality, eternal reality. And we were looking yesterday at the words of Jagdish Chandra Bai, was saying this separation between body and the soul is a foundation of ethics and morale in society. When society has removed this separation between body and the soul, the society will lose all its morality, all its ethics, all its royalty, all its sovereignty. There is no morale and no ethics and no truth left in a society that has not comprehended and not preserved the separation between body and the soul. Look at all the problems that exist right now in our world, all the conflicts, all the bankruptcy, all the immorality and the vices, the lust. the revenge, the war, the conflicts that exist in our society right now, all have been caused by removing the separation between soul and the body. This is a fundamental law of our spiritual world. It is a law. It is governing our minds, our moral, our law. Even in law, if someone is guilty for a crime, their body is constantly changing. You cannot hold someone responsible for a crime that they have done a few years ago, because that body has already completely changed. Every 7 years, all the cells of the body are renewed. In 7 years, your body cannot be held responsible for anything that you have done 7 years ago. No one could be condemned. But we are not condemning or appreciating a body. We are appreciating or condemning the soul. It is a soul that did that karma, whatever karma it has done, and the soul will have to take the fruit of that karma. Whether it is a punishment or whether it is a reward, it is a soul, that one that holds that responsibility. All our law is based on the separation between body and soul. And this is what all religions are saying. This fundamental truth is very clear in all religions on this planet. Whether it is Buddhism or Jainism or Christianity or Hinduism, all religions are acknowledging 7 important facts. The first one is there is an Atma, there is a soul, there is a psyche, there is the self that is beyond birth and death. That soul exists eternally, will never die. Secondly, they acknowledge that that soul has an aura around it. It has an impact, an aura which is divine, created by its thoughts and by its emotions. Thirdly, they acknowledge that it is a soul, that one that creates the peace, the love, the bliss, the wisdom, the regard, all that qualities, all that values, all that virtues pertain to the soul, to the Atma. Fourthly, they understand that that soul is creating the actions and will reap the result of their actions. They understand that the soul is coming from a world that is beyond this physical world. Brahmalok, Nirvandam, Paramdam, the home of God, the supreme abode. All religions understand that there is that higher abode. They understand the impact that the soul has on matter. There is an impact of this spirit that can transform matter. And finally, those religions that are theist understand the existence of the supreme soul of God, the one who is always dwelling in the supreme abode, the one that does not come into birth and rebirth. So all religions, all scriptures, all faith acknowledge the separation between body and the soul. It is a soul, the one that can restore that truth in our society, in our minds, in our lives. From John in the Bible, dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. Dear children, God is saying in the Bible, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and truth. It is in the belief of Christianity that truth has to be proven, and it can be proven in only one way, and that is through your own life example, through your own practice of that truth. There is no other way to prove that truth. as we have seen, trying to prove the truth will only show our stubbornness. Truth will only be seen through your example. So from Christianity, prove the truth, what does it mean? And it is Paul who wrote, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Prove all things, what does it mean? In the Bible, hold fast of which is good. Hold that fast which is good. And there are a few things that they are understanding through proving the truth. First, faith, conviction in the truth of God. A spiritual human being, someone who does recognize that spirituality in themselves, will have that conviction in the truth of God. Proving means putting the truth to practice. There is no other way of showing the truth of who we truly are, but to put it into practice, to let it be in our behavior, in our thoughts, words, attitude, speech, and on our face. We have just heard that word saying, if your face is sad or overthinking, then it means you are not in truth in that moment. Wake up and come in truth in the next moment. So from Christianity, proving means putting the truth to practice. Truth is revealed only one time. Christians are saying truth is revealed only one time. It is only right now, at this age, that the truth is revealed through the coming of the Supreme Soul of God. God is coming only once in this interaction with the physical, material reality. God is coming only once to restore truth in the minds of human souls. And Christians are recognizing truth is revealed only one time. There is only one time when we can go in that ascending stage. There is only one time when we can uplift ourselves and others. And that time is now. Do not lose that moment of now. It is at this time that we can understand ourselves as souls and we can know God. Also from Christianity, the truth is absolute. The truth is not relative. The truth is not in the news. The truth is not on TV. That is the truth of the story. This whole world is like a story. This whole world is like a drama. This whole world is like a play. Whatever you see on television, whatever you hear on the radio, are the news of the play, are the news of the film, of the story, of the drama. Truth is absolute, and the absolute truth is the soul, the eternal original form of the soul. And God are eternal and belong to a reality that is full of peace, love, bliss, knowledge, wisdom, and joy eternally. That is our ultimate absolute truth. And finally, they say in Christianity, trials strengthen the truth in you. The more tests you have, the more you will be put into test, the more you will have to go back to that original form of the soul. There is no other solution for human society right now. Human society has reached the bottom. There is no place to go but only up. And we can only go up by understanding the spiritual nature of the self. You are a soul, you are not the body, you are not the name, you are not the religion. You are not the position or the job or the nationality. Each one of us, it's an eternal soul that has a divine form as a child of God. There is no other way to go up from the bottom of the place where we are right now. The whole human society is in this pitch. We have reached the bottom of it. There is only one way to go up. Someone was saying the 21st century will be spiritual, or it will not going to be at all. Right now, there is only one option for human souls. to recognize once again the ultimate absolute truth, the soul, the eternal form of the soul, and God. This is the ultimate reality. Truth is the one that transforms our lives. Truth doesn't mean stubbornness. Truth does not mean that we have to show to others who we are or what we think. Take that incognito vow of purity. Only in truth there is purity. Only by knowing who we truly are, only by knowing our original eternal form of the soul, we can understand and remain pure. Take that vow of brahmacharya, of celibacy, of chastity, of complete purity. Purity in mind, body, heart, and relationships. Purity will create that self-respect that human beings are now missing. They are searching for their self-respect in the outer world. They are praying for self-respect. They are asking, they are demanding, they are fighting for their self-respect. There is no need of all of that. The soul is eternally worthy of love. The soul is a child of God, is eternally worthy of being respected by everyone else. There is a beautiful story about a king, and this king was righteous and truthful. And one day, two gods, Indra and Agni, wanted to test the king. So they have changed their forms into a dove and a hawk. And the hawk was chasing the dove, and the dove came to the king and asking for protection. The king gave his word that he would protect the life of the dove. And then the hawk came and he said, "Well, you are taking my food away. I have a right to eat." And then the king said, "Okay, you will eat from my body. I will give you parts of my body to eat, but you will spare the dove," because he promised. And then it happened that the dove was growing in dimension, and the king had to cut his parts of the body to feed the hawk. But the more the dove was growing, the more the king had to surrender his whole body to the hawk. And when the gods saw that, they immediately came and intervened and restored the life of the king. The truthfulness lies in complete non-violence. The truthfulness lies in knowing our eternal nature, the eternal nature of the soul. The soul is the protector of this whole world, is the protector of matter, of animals, of nature, of their own values. Our first and foremost duty is to protect our values, to restore our soul consciousness, and to protect peace, love, joy, purity, wisdom, and truth. Let us restore this truth in ourselves by understanding our original eternal form and by being in the company of God. Thank you for listening. Let us hear 1 minute of music.
जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। तू जो धरा पे पधारे, फूल खिल जाते हैं न्यारे, गुलशन तो महक जाए, तू जो इसे संवारे, हर गुल में भर दे बाबा तू खुशबू स्वर्गिक सी आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके। हसरत है हमारी बाबा, कर दो वो पूरी आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा।